Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Apocryphal Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Friday Apocryphal and podcast. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering 3rd Enoch, chapters 1 through 7, also known as the Hebrew Book of Enoch by Rabbi Ishmael ben Elisha, the high priest.
It's goes by a decent amount of names, but yes, that is probably the most common one. We just use 3rd Enoch.
We'll call it 3rd Enoch from hereafter, but yes, this is the sequel.
It is a sequel, and we're going to have, of course, another revelation. We got Metatron. He's going to be in this one.
Which is Enoch.
Yeah, which is Enoch.
So Enoch's going to be in 3rd Enoch.
Which, yeah, but of course the name Metatron is not the same as the name Enoch.
Yeah.
What?
You see,
Right?
Metatron fights against Optimus Prime, and he's trying to get the Energon to take over the planet.
Whatever you say. I haven't watched that in a long time.
Transformers?
Yeah, Transformers. I haven't watched Transformers in a long
You
time.
should.
They're not still making it, are they?
There's
I don't
always new
It's
Transformers.
been for a while.
Like, I know they had like the series and the movies.
Oh, there's more than one series, Lawrence.
Don't look into it.
There's many Transformers series. There's a comic book series. There's many comic book series.
I meant the TV show. Is there more than one?
Oh,
of those?
there's more than one.
Show?
Yeah, the original Transformers.
Original.
Like, I guess you know what? Which one was the original?
Transformers.
This conversation.
Anyways, yeah, we're not talking about the Transformer. Talking about a different one. He's transforming in a different way.
He
In
does
a higher
transform, though. There is transforming involved.
This is a much higher form of it, though.
All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
But there's some cool stuff here. So I have the Books of Enoch complete edition, including 1st Enoch, the Ethiopian Book of Enoch, 2nd Enoch, the Slavonic Secrets of Enoch, 3rd Enoch, the Hebrew Book of Enoch by Paul C. Schneiders.
And I have the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha from James H. Charlesworth. The section on 3rd Enoch is a new translation and introduction by P. Alexander.
Well, P. Alexander. Let's see.
You know, that's a normal name. I don't know what P stands for, but
It stands for P.
oh, well, I'm glad they're
There's
abbreviating it.
Very unfortunate naming. But P. Alexander, let's see what you have to say about 3rd Enoch.
All right, so this is an account that it purports to be an account by Rabbi Ishmael of how he journeyed into heaven, saw God's throne and chariot, received revelations from the archangel Metatron, and viewed the wonders of the upper world.
Yeah, this is just straight up Merkaba.
It is, yes. We're going to talk about that quite a bit too. So I'm not going to go into the summary, into the summary of the text, I should say, the story, because there are also different textual traditions as well, which is pretty normal.
And we'll be able to point those out as we come to them.
Yeah, apparently both of our commentaries do have those listed out, which is nice. Although in yours it's all together as one, or like one is listed after the other.
Additionally, mine doesn't really have commentary.
Right, it doesn't have commentary. It's just the translation.
Yeah.
But in this one, they're using, it looks like Manuscript A, whichever one that might be, but they're using Manuscript A for the primary translation, and then B, C, and D is included in an appendix. So I'm gonna have to be flipping back and forth. But you know, that's perfectly normal. Everything's fine. All right. So the original title of 3rd Enoch appears to have been Sefer Hekalut, the Book of the Palaces, but it has also been known as the Chapters of Rabbi Ishmael and the Book of Rabbi Ishmael the High Priest. One manuscript refers to chapters 3 through 15 as the Elevation of Metatron. The name 3rd Enoch was coined by H. Odeberg for his edition of 1928. The text of 3rd Enoch is in considerable confusion. Odeberg's attempted critical edition has many serious flaws. The translation offered in the present study draws on the following manuscripts and editions. So yeah, Manuscript A is in the Vatican, or it's in the Vatican City. Then B, C, and D are all in Oxford, apparently.
I do want to point out that the translation in here is not by Paul C. Schneiders, but by R.H. Charles.
Oh, yeah, R.H. Charles, yeah. Big name at the time. So, I mean, yeah, they just reference here the Sigla, then there are a bunch of others. There's some in Munich, Rome, and then there are copies that it looks like just like independent publications.
Yes.
As well.
But we can say, because it's the Hebrew Book of Enoch, this book was written in Hebrew.
It was written in Hebrew. So the exact character of its language has never been investigated, though Odeberg's index to the Hebrew text provides a ready basis for analysis. There is no reason to suppose that the work has been translated into Hebrew from another language, such as Aramaic, in which some Merkaba traditions were written down. There are apparently loan words, however, from Latin and Greek. The style of 3rd Enoch and of the related Merkaba literature is highly distinctive. It is marked by extreme redundancy. Note the piling up of synonyms in such a typical sentence as, "He enlightened my eyes and my heart to utter psalm, praise, jubilation, thanksgiving, song, glory, majesty, laud, and strength." So that kind of stuff appears a lot, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. Just keep on throwing words onto descriptions. 3rd Enoch, this is for the date. 3rd Enoch, like a number of other Merkaba texts, is attributed to Rabbi Ishmael, the famous Palestinian scholar who died shortly before the outbreak of the Bar Kokhba War in 132 CE. Though some of the traditions of 3rd Enoch can be traced back to Ishmael's time and even earlier, there can be no question of accepting this attribution at its face value. The work is a pseudepigraphon, and Ishmael is simply the master whose authority the author or redactor of 3rd Enoch wished to claim. So in the same way we had things attributed to Moses and things attributed to Solomon, when they obviously were not written by these people. Like if you remember when we were going over... what was the text of the demons? Any
the
demonic
Testament
text?
of Solomon?
Yeah, the Testament of Solomon. There you go. Yeah, so like that one, obviously not written by Solomon, but
Right.
the attribution to Solomon was there for a reason.
But at this point, rabbis are already around.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a mythological character that we're referring to by Rabbi Ishmael ben Elisha.
Right. But they are using the name as a way to put weight onto the text.
Mm.
So in this commentary, there are a good like, I don't know, 5 pages, I think, about the debate over the date for this thing. But
what does it come down to, Lawrence?
okay, I'll tell you what it comes down to. Let's see. So yeah, there have been like late dates proposed, early ones. Some people thinking it was around like the 7th through 11th century, somewhere in there. I know that's a huge range, but it would come from like around the same time as the alphabet of Ben Sira. That was one of the ideas. However, in the end here, it says that it is impossible to reach a very firm conclusion as to the date of 3rd Enoch. The main problem is the literary character of the work. It is not the total product of a single author at a particular point in time, but the deposit of a school tradition which incorporates elements from wildly different periods. Certain rough chronological limits can, however, be established. Number 1, 3rd Enoch can hardly have been written later than the 10th century, since it is clear from the writings of I'm going to try to pronounce this name here, Sadia, Sharira and Hai, and the Karaites, Jacob al-Kirkisani, and Solomon B. Yehudim, that the Merkaba literature was circulating widely among rabbinites at that period and was regarded as being of considerable antiquity and authority. So already by that later date, it was thought to be like super old. Particularly interesting is the fact that Jacob al-Kirkasani knew the short account of the elevation of Enoch found in certain recensions of the alphabet of Akiva and in 3rd Enoch 48. This short account appears to be a summary of a longer version of the elevation of Enoch, closely akin to 3rd Enoch 3 through 15. Number 2, if we are right in summarizing that 3rd Enoch has drawn some of its materials from the Babylonian Talmud, then its final redaction can hardly be earlier than the 5th century CE, because that was, of course, when the Babylonian Talmud was compiled.
Yes.
The magical bowls from Nippur show that many of 3rd Enoch's ideas about Metatron and about the heavenly world were known in magical circles in the 6th and 7th centuries CE. All things considered then, though 3rd Enoch contains some very old traditions and stands in direct line with developments which had already begun in the Maccabean era, a date for its final redaction in the 5th or 6th centuries CE cannot be far from the truth.
So what that comes down to is that there are these post-rabbinical people, and this is literally the magical lore of their sect, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. So not...
And this might actually help with understanding this text. So in the period to which we have dated 3rd Enoch, there appears to have been two main centers of Merkaba mysticism, Palestine and Babylonia. It is far from easy to determine in which of these two regions 3rd Enoch was finally edited. The work draws extensively on Palestinian apocalyptic traditions about Enoch, and some of its distinctive ideas can be paralleled in Palestinian sources. For example, the identity of Enoch and Metatron is attested in one of the Palestinian Targums. And Metatron occurs as a secret name of the prince of the third heaven in the 4th century Palestinian work, Reyut Yehezkel. On the other hand, there are also close parallels to 3rd Enoch in texts of Babylonian provenance. Metatron is mentioned a number of times in the incantation bowls from Babylonia and invoked as the Great Prince or the Great Prince of God's throne. And there are a whole bunch of other epithets relating to that. There are 3 highly suggestive references to Metatron in the Babylonian Talmud. Particularly significant is the close relationship between the account of the humbling of Metatron in 3rd Enoch 16 and that in Haggiga 15a. If, as seems to be the case, this story is of Babylonian origin, then it is reasonable to locate the final redaction of 3rd Enoch in Babylonia. So this commentary goes over the historical importance of the work and talks about, its use in Merkaba mysticism. So it spans a long time period there. But one of the things that I want to hit on before we get into the actual reading of the text is the idea, and we're going to see it a lot. This is just one that I think some people might be unfamiliar with. So the idea of the Shekinah, for example. I just want to hit on that real quick here. God's transcendence is expressed through the story in 3rd Enoch 5:10 through 14 of the withdrawal of his Shekinah from the earth. The Shekinah is the divine presence which takes up its abode in a place or with a person or group of people. Where God is experienced as present, there his Shekinah is said to dwell. 3rd Enoch pictures the Shekinah in very concrete terms. It is a bright light, a luminous cloud, like the cloud that manifested God's presence in the temple and the tabernacle. According to 3rd Enoch 5:1 through 14, which we'll get to today, obviously.
Yes.
After Adam was expelled from Eden, the Shekinah remained on earth, but since the generation of Enoch, third in line from Adam, it has been residing in the highest heaven. And then there are, of course, many ideas about the Shekinah in Merkaba mysticism.
Yeah. You have a book recommendation in the chat.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you could look up the definition of atheism in it.
Okay, that's fine.
It's a collection of writings from the Ante-Nicene Church Father Library.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right up your alley, Lawrence.
Okay. I don't know why we would.
Well, you
read
don't
that
know
on the
much,
show.
Lawrence, do
Yeah,
you?
I guess not.
Well, that's even more reason for you to become educated by reading the
book
third
of
book
Enoch?
of Enoch,
Yeah.
right? Which I'm going to hop into right now.
Great, fantastic.
So, chapter 1, Introduction. Rabbi Ishmael ascends heaven to behold
Behold.
Behold.
the vision of the Merkabah and is given in charge to Metatron. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Genesis 5:24. Rabbi
So
Ish.
is that like directly in the
It's right
in
there.
the text? Okay, so okay, I see what they did. All
Yeah.
right.
Rabbi Ishmael said, when I ascended on high to behold
Behold.
the vision of the Merkabah and had entered the 6 halls, one within the other. 6 halls, huh?
I suppose.
Is there a commentary on these 6 halls?
Well, it says that the 6 palaces. I entered 6 palaces, one inside the other.
Okay.
So literally chamber within a chamber.
All right. That's I can imagine that.
Yeah.
As soon as I reached the door of the 7th hall, I stood still in prayer before the Holy One, blessed be he, and lifting up my eyes on high, i.e., toward the divine majesty, I said, Lord of the universe, I pray thee that the merit of Aaron, the son of Amram, the lover of peace and pursuer of peace, who received the crown of priesthood from thy glory on the Mount of Sinai, be valid for me in this hour, so that Kaphsiel, the prince, and the angels with him may not get power over me, nor throw me down from the heavens. So, Kaphsiel.
Yeah. So Prince Kaphsiel. Okay, so I guess there are a couple different I guess there's like one different like textual variation here. But it means the root of it means to be angry. Keshup is the name of an angel of destruction. It looks like it's from a Targum in relation to Numbers 17:11.
Oh.
Yeah, and apparently is also a Kaphsiel is a gatekeeper of the 6th palace in Sefer Harazim.
Is this the thing that would be responsible for those non-Aaronids who opened the Ark of the Covenant who all died? Is that what we're referring to here? Because this guy's an Aaronid priest, right? So he's saying, like, I have received the power of Aaron, right, through being his descendant. So don't sick this thing on me, right?
I suppose that would work. Not sure if that's the exact relation, though. Yeah, so he's one of the angels who guide. Okay, so apparently he's also one of the angels who guide the sun during the night for the motif of the angels attacking the adept as he ascends to the Merkabah. He's quoting here. And Rabbi Akiba too, the ministering angels sought to thrust away. The Holy One, blessed be he, said to them, let this elder be, for he is worthy to avail himself of my glory. Yeah, that's all it says on this one.
All right. So this is about worthiness, right? Forthwith, the Holy One, blessed be he, sent to me Metatron, his servant, Ebed, the angel, the prince of the presence. And he, spreading his wings with great joy, came to meet me so as to save me from their hand. And he took me by his hand in their sight, saying to me, enter in peace before the high and exalted king, and behold, the picture of the Merkabah.
And of course, in here it's translated as chariot, but that is what Merkabah means.
Mm-hmm. Does it also say picture?
or the likeness of it.
That reminds me, I mean, if we're using picture, from the Apocalypse of Abraham, when Abraham is taken to heaven and then he looks down and sees this illustration of moving parts.
Does, yeah.
Yeah. Then I entered the seventh hall, and he led me to the camps of Shekinah, and placed me before the Holy One, blessed be he, to behold.
Behold! A lot of beholds. Love it.
Yeah, the Merkabah. As soon as the princes of the Merkabah and the flaming seraphim pierced me, they fixed their eyes upon me. So, seraphim.
The angels, the class of angels there. And they are just staring him down.
So, essentially, there's all these divine creatures.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of divine beings, which would make sense around the throne, right? Mm-hmm. That's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Instantly trembling and shuddering seized me, and I fell down and was benumbed by the radiant image of their eyes and the splendid appearance of their faces, until the Holy One, blessed be he, rebuked them, saying, My servants, my seraphim, my cherubim, and my ophanim, cover ye your eyes before Ishmael, my son, my friend, my beloved one, and my glory, that he tremble not nor shudder. Forthwith, Metatron.
Stop scaring him, guys.
Yeah. Leave him alone. Forthwith, Metatron, the prince of the presence, came to me and restored my spirit and put me upon my feet. You know, this title, Prince of the Presence.
Yeah, I guess he's like the guy in charge of the other angels.
Well, in other texts, we've had the angels of the presence.
Yeah. But this is the prince of the divine presence.
So I guess he would be like the head of the angels of the presence.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. After that moment, there was not in me strength enough to say a song before the throne of glory of the glorious King, the mightiest of all kings, the most excellent of all princes, until after the hour had passed. After 1 hour had passed, the Holy One, blessed be he, opened to me the gates of Shekinah, the gates of peace, the gates of wisdom, the gates of strength, the gates of power, the gates of speech, the gates of song, the gates of Kedushah, the gates of chant. This sounds like a series of books.
The gates
also, how many gates are there?
No, I think this is all referencing the same gate.
But
the gates of Shekinah.
If you're familiar with Jewish traditional prayer books, they have, for example, during the High Holy Days, they use the gates of repentance. That's the name of the holy book.
Okay.
The prayer book, rather. Right.
That's why I asked how many there were.
It looks like there's one. One gates.
Yeah, so the gates belong to the heavenly treasuries. Okay, so it just looks like someone is someone conjectured understanding instead of Shekinah, but I think from what we said about Shekinah before, it would make sense there.
What is Kedushah?
Oh, that was a sanctifying praise. Yeah.
So this is just a series of basically Platonic forms, right? I mean, these are abstract entities, but by the gates to them being opened, he's revealed their nature, right?
Okay, so I'm not... See, the thing is, I don't know if they're all referring to the same gates, though. Like, if it's all, like...
one gate.
If they're all talking about the gates of Shekinah, but then that gate is being identified as being the gate of all these other things. But I guess, hopefully we hear more about that, which we probably won't.
Yeah.
But let's hope.
And he enlightened my eyes and my heart by words of psalm, song, praise, exaltation, thanksgiving, extolment, glorification, hymn, and eulogy. And I opened my mouth, uttering a song before the Holy One, blessed be he, the holy Chioth, beneath and above the throne of glory, answered and said, Holy, and blessed be the glory of Yahweh. It says YHWH, but I'm just going to say Yahweh whenever it says that. Yahweh from his place, i.e. chanted the Kedushah. So the holy Chioth, what is this?
Let's see. That was... Okay, so you read through the whole list of like psalm, praise, jubilation, all that stuff, right? When I opened my mouth and sang praises before the throne of glory, the holy creatures below the throne of glory and above the throne responded after me, saying, Holy, 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 and blessed be the glory of the Lord in his dwelling place.
So Chioth is another class of divine entity that's here.
I suppose, yeah. Or, well, maybe they're referring to like all of them at once.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there are some manuscript differences in chapter 4, so why don't you read chapter 2 and 3 because they're shorter.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so Metatron vouches for Ishmael. So Rabbi Ishmael said, Then the eagles of the chariot, the flaming Ophanim, and the cherubim of devouring fire asked Metatron, Youth...
Wait.
Go ahead.
You have Ophanim and cherubim?
Yes.
I have Ophanim and seraphim.
Whoa.
Different angels, bro.
Yes, yeah, they were just differentiated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm checking the commentary here. Nope, just, okay, so it looks like some of the texts seem to omit flaming Ophanim, but I don't see anything about the addition of the seraphim. Or sorry, for you said the cherubim.
Come on, R.H. Charles.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Why aren't you in the future where we know more stuff?
Yeah, Charles Worth seems to know more than Charles.
Yeah.
That's what Worth will get
Exactly. There you go. That's the difference.
It's worth it.
So anyways, all these angels asking Metatron, Youth, why have you allowed one born of woman to come in and behold the chariot?
Behold.
From what nation is he? From what tribe? What is his character? Metatron replied, He is of the nation of Israel, whom the Holy One, blessed be he, chose from the 70 nations to be his people. The 70 nations, I feel like we've seen that before.
The 70 tongues here.
Oh, so languages.
Yeah.
Okay.
So linguistic groups, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it would be linguistic groups. But I guess, if that's how they're dividing tribes, it would make sense.
Yeah.
70 nations to be his people. He is of the tribe of Levi, which presents the offerings to his name. That's like all they do.
Mm-hmm.
He is of the family of Aaron, whom the Holy One, blessed be he, chose to minister in his presence, and on whose head he himself placed the priestly crown on Sinai. At once they began to say, This one is certainly worthy to behold.
Behold.
The chariot, as it is written, Happy is the nation of whom this is true. Happy is the nation whose God is the Lord. That's from Psalm
144:15. It says, Happy is the people that is in such a case in here.
Yeah. And those would be the people whose God is the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to chapter 3.
Yeah.
Ishmael questions Metatron. Rabbi Ishmael said, Then I questioned the angel Metatron, prince of the divine presence. I said to him, What is your name? He answered, I have 70 names, corresponding to the 70 nations of the world. And all of them are based on the name of the King of the Kings of Kings. However, my king calls me Youth.
Well, that's different. Here it says, I have 70 names corresponding to the 70 tongues of the world, and all of them are based upon the name Metatron, angel of the presence. But my king calls me youth.
Interesting. So let's see. The name of the king of the kings of kings is in some manuscripts, and then there's also the name of my king and my creator. There's also the name of my king, the Holy One, blessed be he. There's also the name of my king, and there is the name of Metatron, the angel of the divine presence. 3 things are asserted in this verse. Metatron has 70 names. Okay, so there's actually a list of all of them in chapter 48.
Oh,
Great.
Right, can't wait to get to that one. The number of the names corresponds to the number of the nations of the world. The idea probably is that Metatron is the prince of the world, or at least he would be acknowledged as prince in these places, right, if they all have a name for him.
Mm-hmm.
In charge of the 70 princes of kingdoms, the names are based on the name of God. The natural interpretation of this would be that they are derived by Tamura, Gematria, and other systems of letters and number magic from the tetragram Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
However, according to chapter 48, it looks like, the idea is that they were 70 of God's own names, which he bestowed on Metatron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember when we were doing the demon summoning, weren't there
Tons
70
of God
names?
names. Yeah.
Weren't there like 70 though?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some of that for you.
Yeah. So why don't I hop into chapter 4 then?
Okay, and you said that there was
are you done with 3 already?
Yes.
yeah, really short. So you said
got
that for
me.
chapter 4.
There are manuscript differences, which I will cover.
Okay.
Metatron is identical with Enoch, who was translated to heaven at the time of the deluge, chapter 4. Rabbi Ishmael said, I asked Metatron and said to him, why art thou called by the name of thy creator by 70 names? Thou art greater than all the princes, higher than all the angels, beloved more than all the servants, honored above all the mighty ones in kingship, greatness, and glory. Why do they call thee youth in the high heavens? He answered and said to me, because I am Enoch, the son of Jared. For when the generation of the flood sinned and were confounded in their deeds, saying unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways, Job 21:14. Then the Holy One, blessed be he, removed me from their midst to be a witness against them in the high heavens to all the inhabitants of the world, that they may not say, the merciful one is cruel.
So, of course, Enoch wasn't around anymore by the time of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, wasn't Noah his grandson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, apparently he left. He ascended. I'm guessing long before
The earth flooded?
Well, yeah, it was long before the earth flooded.
Are you sure it
But-
wasn't at exactly the same time?
Yeah, that'd be weird if it was.
Yeah, it would be.
Because it said like when that generation of the flood sinned and turned to evil deeds. So
Mhm.
so God already kind of knew it was happening. Maybe Noah, maybe he wasn't or was not born. I don't know, but at some point during this period of time,
Mhm.
God would have been like, I see what's going on. I'm
Methuselah, the kid of Enoch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that guy lived so long. Who knows what the time frames Methuselah presents.
Yeah, you never know. So
The
at
point
the
being
beginning
that this is in the period of time leading up to
to the flood.
the flood. Yeah. At this point, manuscripts split and they come back together in a little bit.
Okay.
So manuscripts A, D, E, and L say, what sinned all those multitudes, their wives, their sons and their daughters, their horses, their mules, and their cattle, and their property, and all the birds of the world, all of which the Holy One, blessed be he, destroyed from the world together with them in the waters of the flood. manuscripts B and C say, what sins had they committed, all those multitudes? Or, let it be, they sinned. What had their sons and their daughters, their mules and their cattle sinned? And likewise, all the animals, domestic and wild, and all the birds in the world that God did destroy from the world. At this point, manuscripts A, D, and L say, nor may say, what though the generation of the flood did sin, the beasts and the birds, what had they sinned that they should perish with them? Whereas manuscript E says, what had they sinned that they should perish with them?
Yeah, so you know what? That's a good question, though.
Yeah, it is a good question. Like, what the hell did all these animals do?
Yeah.
And, like, the little children?
They looked at God the wrong way once.
I guess.
You
Yeah,
know,
all
with
of-
their eyes. All those eyes. They're looking at me the wrong way.
That must be it. You're right.
You know, this is an Aranid priest coming into heaven and demanding
An explanation.
that God's actions be justified by Enoch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think Enoch got his questions answered. Remember?
God rarely answers questions.
Not a very
It's
straightforward.
a lot of the time. It's like we don't talk about that. And then he just he reveals something else that may be tangentially related to the point, but in other texts that we've read, doesn't really do well in the whole answers department.
Mm-hmm. Now all the manuscripts come together again. Hence the Holy One, blessed be he, lifted me up in their lifetime before their eyes to be a witness against them to the future world. And the Holy One, blessed be he, assigned me for a prince and a ruler among the ministering angels. In that hour, 3 of the ministering angels, Uzzah, Azza, and Azael, came forth and brought charges against me in the high heavens.
So I remember these
Yeah.
from somewhere.
Different Enoch.
Yeah. Let's see. Uzzah, Asa, and Azael. These angels are probably evil agencies in view of the fact that they had laid charge against Enoch. Yeah, weren't these in First Enoch?
That's what I was thinking.
Weren't these some of the angels there?
I don't know. Let me check.
I remember. I remember these things being mentioned. I remember these angelic names.
I know.
They came and laid charges against me in the heavenly height. I mean, yeah, they're definitely evil angels, and I remember these names, but I'm not
the Watchers. Some of the
Well,
Watchers.
yeah. But I
Okay, so Asael is one of the Watchers.
okay.
Nice.
And then
Hold on.
Uzzah, I remember. I'm not sure if I remember Asa, but I remember Uzzah being in one of the books that we read.
Yeah, I don't remember Oz actually.
Well, we can assume that these are like
They're evil.
Alternate
evil
names.
angelic
Evil
beings.
angels.
Yeah. Saying before the Holy One, blessed be he. Said not the ancient ones, the first ones, rightly before thee, do not create man. The Holy One, blessed be he, answered and said unto them, I have made and I will bear, yea, I will carry and will deliver. Isaiah 46:4.
Don't make people. Holy shit.
And God's just like, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, so here's Lord of the Universe, did not the primeval ones give you good advice when they said do not create man?
Oh, who are these primeval ones?
I need to know.
Are these like the ones from that other book?
The tradition-
from Second Enoch when the light, and that was from Second Enoch, right? Where the spirits of light and darkness.
There was
were-
that, yeah.
were
I
brought
think that
down?
was. I think that
Are
was
these
Second
the
Enoch.
primeval ones?
Well, let's see here. So the tradition behind this is found in B Sanhedrin 38b, when God wanted to create man, he first created a company of angels and asked for their advice. They opposed the creation of man, so God destroyed them. The same fate befell a second company, but a third company allowed man to be created. However, when the generation of the flood came, these angels said, Lord of the universe, did not the first company of angels speak aright. God replied, even to old age I am the same, and even to gray hairs will I carry. This tradition has been adapted here. The third company of angels is identified with Uzzah, Azza, and Azazel. So it seems like these specific ones are referencing a different tradition where he made angels, angels in waves, and basically didn't keep them around until they agreed with him. So that was but then this third one,
what
right?
a benevolent creator.
This third generation of angels, I should say, apparently at least some of them also don't agree with the creation of man. But humans are already created at this point, though. So I guess it took some time to create these angels.
Yeah. As soon as they saw me, they said before him, Lord of the universe, what is this one that he should ascend to the height of heights? Is not he one from among the sons of those who perished in the days of the flood? What doeth he in the Rakia?
So what right has he to be in heaven?
Okay. Again, the Holy One, blessed be he, answered and said to them, What are ye that ye enter and speak in my presence? I delight in this one more than in all of you.
Oh, right.
And hence he shall be a prince and a ruler over you in the high heavens. Forthwith all stood up and went out to meet me, prostrated themselves before me, and said, Happy art thou, and happy is thy Father, for thy Creator doth favor thee. And because I am small and a youth among them in days, months, and years, therefore they call me youth.
Okay. Well, at least we got an explanation.
Good explanation, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Metatron.
Yeah.
Or Enoch, I should say.
That's the end of chapter 4. There are additional manuscript differences towards the end of chapter 5, but if you want to...
I'll do chapter 5.
Yeah.
All right. So chapter 5, God removes the Shekinah.
Are you there?
I am here.
On chapter 5.
Yeah.
This is also subtitled in mine, The Idolatry of the Generation of Enoch Causes God to Remove the Shekinah from Earth, the idolatry inspired by Azza, Uzzah, and Aziel.
Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron, Prince of the Divine Presence, said to me, From the day that the Holy One, blessed be he, banished the first man from the Garden of Eden, the Shekinah resided on a cherub beneath the tree of life. That's good to know.
Yeah.
There was the Shekinah was sitting there. I guess that was because as we talked about before, that is the manifestation of God, right? Like
God's presence was localized under the tree of life in the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
On top of a cherub.
Apparently.
Kind of like the throne in the visions of Ezekiel.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Although I think we actually get more throne stuff later on.
Okay.
So yeah, it resided on a cherub beneath the tree of life. The ministering angels used to muster and come down from heaven in companies and in bands and cohorts from heaven to execute his will in all the earth. So he was ruling from heaven apparently for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The first man in his generation dwelt at the gate of the Garden of Eden so that they might gaze at the bright image of the Shekinah.
They might behold.
It, yeah.
Oh.
Or the brilliance of the Shekinah radiated from one end of the world to the other. 365,000 times more brightly than the sun. Oh. So that's a lot.
Yes.
That would be so bright, you would go blind.
That's like the luminosity of a feeding supermassive black hole. You know, those accretion disks from quasars?
Yeah.
That's like, maybe that's a
It
little...
might be more.
I think that might be brighter than a quasar, yeah.
It's so bright that you really can't even comprehend how bright it is.
You really can't.
Your eyes are obliterated by light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of photons blind you.
it would be honestly too much to handle. Like, I think, God, it was in. I think it was in Indiana Jones, right, where the face melts off.
Yeah.
It would be like that.
Scene.
Yeah, it would be like that.
So these early humans are just living in complete terror that this Shekinah is going to come anywhere near them.
It's already everywhere near them. Well, not the Shekinah itself, but it's light at least, considering how bright it is.
Yes.
They can't really get away from it.
No.
Anyone who gazed at the brightness of the Shekinah, okay, let's find out what happens.
Went blind.
Was not troubled by flies or gnats, by sickness or pain. Malicious demons were not able to harm them, and even the angels had no power over him. So simply looking at this thing gives you immunity from
a bunch of stuff.
A bunch of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like how. So angels can't have power over you. Demons can't have power over you.
Maybe this is
sickness and pain, but also flies.
Yeah, but maybe this
Big threat with
is
Beelzebul,
like an explanation about why things were perfect in the Garden of Eden, right? Because the Shekinah was present in the Garden of Eden, so it was impossible for any of these bad things to happen to people who were in there.
Yeah, they couldn't enter. Including flies and gnats.
Even though all the animals were there, and flies and gnats are animals.
Right. Yeah. Not to these guys, they weren't.
They just couldn't touch anything with eyes.
I suppose that's true. When the Holy One, blessed be he, went out and in from the Garden of Eden, and hold up, this is really poorly worded.
Okay, here it says from the garden to Eden, from Eden to the garden.
Okay, when the Holy One, blessed be he, went out and in from the garden to Eden, and from Eden to the garden, from the garden to heaven, and from heaven to the Garden of Eden, all gazed at the bright image of his Shekinah and were unharmed until the coming of the generation of Enoch, who was the chief of all the idolaters of the world. So during this, I guess he's like slowly like ascending to heaven, right? And during that period, when everyone could see him,
well, he just
everyone
comes and goes.
Right. Okay, so the thing is, very early on, it was just, it's interesting that it says all gazed at the bright image of his Shekinah and were unharmed. But this, in order for that to make sense, considering that there were, initially you have two people, right? It would be weird to say that, everyone looked upon them. Yeah, it's true, but it would just be weird because it's only Adam and Eve at some point.
Well, at some point, but this is generations.
This is later. This has to be later.
Yeah.
And I guess during these little ascension and descensions, when he's going back and forth, people are immune from a bunch of bad things for a little bit.
Sweet.
What did the men of Enoch's generation do? They roamed the world from end to end, and each of them amassed silver, gold, precious stones, and pearls in mountainous heaps and piles.
How many?
Stop.
In a mountain.
A mountainous heap.
Yeah. Don't.
Such that N-1 is no longer a mountainous.
Yeah. You know what? We should just have a shirt for that.
Honestly?
Yeah.
The asshole.
How many bees?
Yeah, how many?
In a pile of bees.
How many bees to make a hive?
No, a pile of bees.
Such that N-1 bees means it's no longer a hive?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, I wonder. In the four quarters of the world, they fashioned them into idols. And in each quarter, they set up idols about 1,000 parsnags.
Yeah, parasangs.
Oh, good old parasangs.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither. Let's see the commentary. Okay, so a Persian measure of length. About 3.88 miles.
Oh.
And it's used frequently in Heckalot text, apparently.
Oh.
So this is almost 4,000 miles.
Yes.
Are they going to North America?
But okay, so this is weird. They're using it as a measure, even though it's a distance measure. They're using it.
No, this is the size of each idol.
4,000 miles.
Yep.
In height.
Which is why they're around today, and we can see all of.
That's why we didn't need to build these space elevators. People just climb this thing.
Yeah.
They're I was like, okay, they can't be talking about height, right? But yeah, it says height. These things are 4,000 miles tall, according to this.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
That's how bad these people were. They made idols 4,000 miles tall.
It's just insane. I love it. I could imagine this, the base of these idols doing damage to the crust of the planet
Right?
by the sheer mass.
How did they get that much material?
Well, you see, they're only 1 millimeter thick.
Okay.
Yeah, they had
But they're
still a lot of
4,000
nanotubes
miles
back
tall.
then, idols.
Yeah.
These extremely advanced metamaterials from back in the day, remember? Come on.
Obviously.
Okay, this is a hyperbole.
Yeah, obviously it's hyperbole, but holy shit.
No, maybe it's not. Keep reading.
Oh my god, yep, you're right. You're gonna love this, Chris. You're gonna love this.
I am, okay.
They brought down the sun, the moon, the stars, and the constellations, and stationed them before the idols. This is the Tower of Babel to an incredible degree.
This is way more hardcore than the Tower of Babel.
This is I don't know.
They took the motif they took the idea of the Tower of Babel,
Yeah.
and they're like, this is way bigger than you thought it was.
Yeah. No, they brought the sun and the moon down.
That's incredible. Marvel Eternals. Yeah, okay. So, what would be a cool movie? This.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they use a biblical,
part of the MCU.
They use a biblical quote to justify this claim. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so they and stationed them before the idols, all the fucking celestial bodies stationed before the idols, to their right and to their left to serve them in the way they served the Holy One, blessed be he, as it is written.
First Kings 22:19.
Oh my God. All the array of heaven stood in his presence to his right and to his left. Wow, that's a bad interpretation.
See, because the Bible says so, this is what really happened, Lawrence.
Wow, that's
We're
a bad
biblical literalists.
This is a very bad interpretation.
Holy shit.
Especially from a text like First Kings. Okay. Wow. How was it that they had the strength to bring them down? It was only because Uzzah, Asa, and Azael taught them sorceries that they brought them down and employed them.
Okay, so you know how the Sith can maybe stop a battleship or something with their sorceries? I don't think they could move the celestial bodies at will.
They're just not trying hard
And they
enough.
didn't have idols that were 4,000
Well, you see,
miles tall.
this is the best example of it's magic. I don't have to explain shit I've seen in any of these books
This
so
is
far.
true, yeah, that's a real gimme.
So yeah, how was it that they had the strength to bring all these things down, and they learned all these things from these angels, because they taught them sorceries that they brought them down and employed them, for otherwise they would not have been able to bring them down. You know, these angels, if they're teaching us how to bring down celestial bodies,
The sun is now present on the planet.
yes, that's a thing that is happening in this text.
We'd be obliterated.
On we go. Thereupon, the ministering angels conspired to bring a complaint before the Holy One. Blessed be he. They said in his presence, Lord of the universe, what business have you with men? As it is written, what is man The word that's used there is Enoch, apparently. What is man that you should spare a thought for him?
Psalm 8:4.
Yep. It does not say here what is Adam, but what is Enosh, because Enosh is the chief of the idolaters. Why did you leave the heaven of heavens above, the abode of your glory, the high and exalted throne, which is in the height of Arabot? And I think we talked about that before,
yes.
right?
So, by the way, here's where the manuscript differences come into play. Manuscripts A, D, and E state, why hast thou left the highest of the high heavens, the abode of thy glorious name, and the high and exalted throne in Araboth on high? Whereas
and
manuscript B says, why hast thou left the Araboth Rakia, which are full of thy glory, mighty and high alike, and the high and exalted throne in the Araboth Rakia in the highest. And manuscripts C and L say, why hast thou left the highest of the high heavens, which are filled with the majesty of thy glory and are high, uplifted and exalted, and the high and exalted throne in the Rakia Araboth on high.
Yeah, and the Arabot would be the highest heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking, why did you leave all this amazingness to hang out with people?
Yeah.
So why'd you leave and come and lodge with men who worship idols?
Mm-hmm.
Now you are on the earth, and the idols are on the earth. What is your business among the idolatrous inhabitants of the earth? Immediately, the Holy One, blessed be he, took up his Shekinah from the earth, from their midst.
Wait, so he won't listen to his angels when they say, don't create human beings, but he'll listen to them when they're like, why are you hanging out with human beings?
Well, I mean, no, that's apparently, I think they're trying to say that's why he was hanging out with them, in order to go get his Shekinah.
Okay.
I mean,
He went down there to get his Shekinah away.
yeah, I don't think so, because this is in response to the charges that are brought before him by these ministering angels, right?
Okay.
This is his
I guess,
response to their complaint.
I suppose that would make sense. But then immediately some stuff happens here. Then the ministering angels came, and the cohorts of hosts and the armies of Arabot, 1,000 companies strong and myriads of hosts. They took trumpets and seized horns and surrounded the Shekinah with psalms and songs, and it ascended to the heavenly heights. As it is written, God went up to the sound of horns. The Lord went up with a fanfare of trumpets. And that
Psalms 47:5.
Yeah. So he was... anyways, he goes and grabs his Shekinah to get this divine power, I guess, away from all these idolatrous people. And on the way up, there's this whole glorious ceremony for it.
So this next chapter, do you want me to read it, or?
I mean, I can read it. It's not a problem.
All right. Well, there's 3 verses. Each verse is rather long, and
It does seem
in
like
the
it.
second verse, there are manuscript differences. So, why don't you read it, and once you finish the second verse, I'll talk about the manuscript differences.
Yeah, and it looks like there are a lot of references to biblical texts as well. So the angels object to Enoch's elevation. Yeah, I bet they do. Rabbi Ishmael said, the angel Metatron, prince of the divine presence, said to me, when the Holy One, blessed be he, desired to bring me up to the height, he sent me Prince Anapiel Yahweh.
Yes.
And he took me from their midst.
It says Anapiel H, where H is equal to tetragrammaton.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's an archangel. The same angel punishes Metatron in 16:5, and an etymology of his name is offered in 18:18. According to Hekla Rabati, he is one of the gatekeepers of the 7th palace, A variant form of the name Anaphel is attested in Chirogeneza Heckelot. Okay. But the parallel passage in Heckelot Zutari speaks of Anapiel as in 3rd Enoch. The highest archangels all carry the tetragrammaton Yahweh as part of their names also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an archangel. So an archangel took Enoch away from all the evildoers.
Yeah.
Before their very eyes, and he conveyed me in great glory on a fiery chariot with fiery horses and glorious attendants. Oh, yeah, this is just like Elijah's ascension. Yeah, it's just like Elijah's ascension.
Yeah.
Except instead of everyone looking on, it's just the one guy.
Yeah.
In Elijah's case.
Right.
And he brought me up with the Shekinah to the heavenly heights.
So here, Enoch, I mean, I guess he walks with God, right? Because when God's presence leaves the earth, he's like, "Come on, Enoch,
I'm taking
we're
you
going
with me." Yeah. What's that meme? Get in.
Yeah.
What was that from? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But I don't remember where it's from. I think from a movie, was it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, whatever. Maybe someone in chat remembers what I'm talking about. Either way, as soon as I reached the heavenly heights, the holy creatures, the Ophanim, the Seraphim, the cherubim, the wheels of the chariot, and the ministers of consuming fire. So the wheels of the chariot being
the Galgalim.
So the wheels of the chariot, are they their own divine being?
Yes, the Galgalim.
Yeah,
All right then. Yeah, I guess because
they're given a name here. The Galgalim.
All right.
Great name. Gotta remember that.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know why they had to say it this way, but they did. So anyways, all these angels, right? Smelled my odor, 365 myriads of parasangs off.
365,000.
Okay.
Here.
Sorry, yeah, 365,000 myriads of parasangs. That is what that says there. Sorry, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot.
What's a parasang?
We just talked about that before.
Measurements, right?
Yeah. So they could
smell them for forever away.
Yeah. Actually, they said, "What is this smell of one born of a woman?"
Wait. This is the part where there's manuscript differences, and they're very subtle.
Great.
So I'm just going to finish this verse for you.
Okay.
In 3 different ways.
Okay, great.
Manuscript A. What smell of one born of woman, and what taste of a white drop is this that ascends on high, and lo, he is merely a gnat among those who divide flames of fire? From Manuscript B. What is one born of woman between among us, the taste of a white drop which ascends to the high heavens to minister among those who divide flames of fire?
And of course,
Manuscripts C, D, E, and L say, what smell of a woman born is this, and what taste of a white drop that ascends to the highest heavens to minister among dividers of flames?
Of course, the white drop being...
What is it,
It's
Lawrence?
semen.
Oh. How would I have guessed?
Easily.
The thing is that from all the translations, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yes.
So the citation about the white drop recalls a certain rabbinical text. There was a rabbi who said,
Gotta talk about semen on Friday Apocryphal podcast.
Here we go. Consider from which you have come, from a putrid drop.
Wow.
So it's a putrid white drop. I can only surmise that it's that. And considering that on one end you have born of a woman, and on the other hand you have a white drop.
It's very obvious.
It is obvious, yeah. We love talking about this. So yeah, why does a white drop ascend on high and serve among those who cleave the flames? Yeah, silly humans. The Holy One, blessed be he, replied and said to them, my ministers, my hosts, my cherubim, my Ophanim, and my seraphim, do not be displeased at this.
Wait. He doesn't even
mention the other
refer
ones.
to the Galgalim?
No, he doesn't.
What the hell, man?
Right? He's just leaving them out.
Jerk.
Do not be displeased at this, for all mankind has rejected me and my great kingdom and has gone off and worshipped idols. So I have taken up my Shekinah from their midst and brought it up to the height. And this one, whom I have removed from them, is the choicest of them all, and worth them all in faith, righteousness, and fitting conduct. The one whom I have taken is my sole reward from my whole world under heaven.
Wow.
So, wow. Yeah, this one guy basically makes up for all of that idolatry.
So basically, he's like, well, I admit all humans suck, but this one dude is so based and red-pilled that I'm going to bring him with me.
Yeah, I'm just going to, leave Earth, but this guy is coming along for the ride.
Yeah. That's the end of chapter 6, right?
It is, yes. So then we have chapter 7. It's pretty short.
I'll read chapter 7.
All right, amazing.
Chapter 7. Enoch raised upon the wings of the Shekinah to the place of the throne, the Merkabah, and the angelic hosts. Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron, the angel, the prince of the presence, said to me, when the Holy One, blessed be he, took me away from the generation of the flood, he lifted me on the wings of the wind of Shekinah to the highest heaven and brought me into the great palaces of the Arboth Rakia on high, where are the glorious throne of Shekinah, the Merkabah, the troops of anger, the armies of vehemence, the fiery Shin Anim, the flaming cherubim, and the burning Ophanim, the flaming servants, the flashing Chashmalim, and the lightning seraphim. And he placed me there to attend the throne of glory day after day.
So, just one note here. So for Shinanim, while most of the manuscripts say Shinanim, one of them says Setanim, which is Satan's. So one translation or one manuscript interprets that as the Satans, the accusers, which of course, the ancient idea of Satans, yes, that fits in, being like the judges among the earth.
Yeah.
So that is another reading there. So yeah, that is the end of chapter 7. Very short chapter.
And that is the end of our readings for today. So, what do you think of 3rd Enoch so far?
I liked this giant idols.
Yeah.
The 4,000 mile tall idols.
I like how keen the sense of smell is. Holy shit, they can smell you across space, the vacuum of space.
Essentially. So the Shekinah is this very powerful
aura almost that covered the earth.
Yeah, it's like God is like dropping his essence into like the middle of,
and it's no white drop.
It's no white drop,
but it's a bright drop.
Oh yeah, remember how bright it was? These numbers.
Yeah. Ridiculously bright, and super OP. It even gets rid of flies. That's pretty cool.
More flies.
Or gnats. Woo. Don't have to worry about those. And those are like the worst things you could possibly imagine.
Mosquitoes are flies, so that's pretty.
They are
pretty plus.
Annoying, yeah, but like.
So yeah, 3rd Enoch is not entirely congruent with 1st or 2nd Enoch or the Bible.
Right. But it is entertaining.
Yes.
Giant statues.
Giant statues. Still around today.
Obviously.
That's what Mount Everest is. It's just the ruins of one of those.
I don't think it's 4,000 miles tall.
Probably not.
No.
You never know. Have
Yeah,
you
I'm
been
pretty
there?
sure. I'm pretty sure.
You're just trusting what the scientists say.
You're right. I'm I'm brainwashed.
Well, actually, this is just the base of the idol that was 4,000 miles.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the actual idol.
Fell over
Yeah.
and created the Himalayas.
Wow.
You see the sun and the planets and the stars being right next to
This is
it.
how you get a 6,000-year-old planet. It took a while for that idol to fall over
Mhm.
and crumble into a mountain range.
See, this is science.
Science.
This is what you learn.
I mean, you know how the Bible never mentions Australia or North America?
Yeah,
or
you don't
South
need those.
Amer-
You don't need those.
Well,
The-
that's
the-
because those were pieces of 4,000-mile high idols.
Wow.
Fell over.
That's pretty five-head.
Yep.
It's all in
Very
Joseph
well
Smith's
explained.
manuscripts. We got to get to that.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you probably have a point. It's probably in there. All the answers are in the Joseph Smith version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways, yeah, that's the end of the reading for the day.
So if you enjoyed the show today, check us out on Patreon. You can, give us money.
Yeah, you can be on the show. You can get books and T-shirts. Again, we do T-shirt giveaways every
And
month.
you know what? If you
we
don't,
do have a new shirt, by the way.
we do.
Yeah.
we do. Where is it?
It's not that one. It's called Beheld.
Beheld is Beheld on the list.
Yes, it is.
No, that's Behold.
Oh, it's not on the list.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Well, the new shirt will be on
It's
the
definitely
list
on
soon.
Teespring. It's definitely on Teespring.
Yeah. So why don't you buy yourself a Behold shirt in the meantime on our Teespring?
You'll love it. I hope you'll love it. So we got that. We also have an Amazon wish list. Lots of books on there.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to add books to the table, or get us books for future videos, we'll read them and use them as sources. If they're worthy.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's good stuff. You're investing in your own knowledge and entertainment there.
Yep, but if you can't afford to give us money, then Facebook and Twitter.
Obviously, all this stuff too. Drop a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Click that bell.
That bell is kind of actually important because
Take that index finger, put the cursor over that bell, smash that bell.
unless you are on a phone, in which case just use your finger. You don't need a cursor.
Take that finger, put it over the bell
And
on
then
the screen,
Press down
and then press down.
forcefully.
I broke my phone.
Yeah, don't break your phone.
Just keep.
If you just broke your phone because of Lawrence,
Oops.
that's your fault.
You're strong, man.
yeah, congratulations.
Good job.
You're also probably not hearing this.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
speak
pretty
words
much
is the
everything.
screen.
That's pretty, Facebook and Twitter, free to follow us on there.
Yeah. I already
and-
said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways,
email
Lawrence
those
distracts to MilwaukeeAtheist@gmail.com.
yes, that. And we're going to be doing more Matthew stuff.
Yeah, on Sunday we're going to be getting deeper into the book of Saint Matthew.
Yep. And thanks everyone for joining us. We will
See you on Sunday.